So, I let Pokemon cards make my team. The Pokemon TCG has been on the resurgence recently, and for those of you who don't know, hopefully none of you at this point, I used to upload TCG pack battles. Now, it's been like 5 years since that era of Woopsire, and I'm ready to let those videos die in the past where they belong. However, that won't stop me from cashing in on this trend, and hey, writing off Pokemon cards as a business expense is as good of an excuse as you can get. But let me break down this video for you. It's a pretty simple concept. I got a Champions Path Elite Trainer box, which comes with 10 packs, and in those packs are obviously Pokemon cards. Since at the time of recording all this, it was the newest set released, and totally not just because there's a giga expensive Charizard in the set list. So what I'm going to be doing is at the start of the game, right after we pick our starter, I'm going to be opening a pack, and the cards in the pack will dictate my team up until we beat the next gym. Essentially, I'm going to be like hot swapping my team around, leaving it up to fate whether I get a good pack or a bad one. It's almost like a Pokemon gacha game, but we'll talk about that another time. We're going to be playing through Sword and Shield since the Champions Path set matches up fairly well with that, and I had also planned on playing with some additional rules like Nuzlocke stuff and no items, but if I did that, the video wouldn't have been longer than the second gym. So I just stuck to level caps so I couldn't overlevel for gyms, and I banned the wild area so I couldn't farm raids. So just as an example, the video is kind of going to go like this. I get starter, I open pack, I import mons, I journey as usual, I beat the gym, I open another pack, and repeat. A pretty easy concept, I think. Anyways, let's try and hit 3,000 likes on this one, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. I want to hit 100k before the end of the year, and clicking that big red button right below does wonders, and you can always change your mind about it later. And so let's get right into the video. But first, a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet. This wallet is light, sleek, and industrial. It's designed to easily fit into your front pocket and do away with those old, bulky wallets we're used to. I mean, look at mine. Stuffed full of old receipts, pictures of my ex, and gift cards in an unorganized mess. There's over 30 different colors and styles to choose from, and each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. So you buy one wallet, and it's your wallet for life. They'll even let you test drive a wallet for 45 days, and if you don't like it, you can send it back for a full refund. Head on over to ridge.com/whoop and use code WHOOP to get 10% off your first order today with free shipping. Alright, so let's jump into it. I boot up a fresh copy of Pokemon Shield, name myself, fix up my settings to make things a bit more fun and challenging, like playing on set mode and changing up the text speed. I make it up to the starter and decide I'm going to open the first pack and swap out my team. Much like everything else I upload, I'm kind of winging this as I go, so let's just see what we pulled as far as cards go. Alright, so based on those interesting pulls, I decided I didn't want to bring in anything too OP yet, so I'm stuck with the babies I pulled. At this point, I was still planning on playing with like a Nuzlocke format, so I was playing very carefully. We took down Hop pretty easily in the first battle, with Purloin putting in a lot of work with Payback, pretty much sweeping the first battle. My first encounter with Team Yell was kind of interesting, but it was pretty much carried by Rockruff since they couldn't really damage me and I just picked away at them. Since I was still playing this as a Nuzlocke, my second battle with Hop was very stressful since I was really underleveled, but 20 minutes later, I was able to claim victory. The only other battle we're gonna have to watch out for before Milo is Beat. His Solosis has Endeavor, which is always a pain in the butt, but luckily for me, Purloin pretty much hard carried me through this one as well. Luckily, I pulled a Sizzlipede for this one though, and versus Milo, it's gonna come in handy. Also, way back before the gym registration, Leon gave me Charcoal, so I definitely slapped that on Sizzlipede to maximize those fire type moves. My level cap was also 20, and I was going in slightly underleveled, but that's okay, I wasn't stressing too much about it. I led with Purloin to fire off the fake out and get some damage off. I realized I was faster, so my payback didn't do as much damage as I had anticipated, but that's okay. I'm really just using Purloin to get some damage off in this one. Gossifleur goes down, and I kinda just sack off Purloin since I don't really need it anymore. I send out Sizzlipede, go big boy mode, and take down Milo with a few fire type moves to earn us our first badge of the Galar region. Not too shabby, I'd say. Let's bust open this next pack, shall we? Since I'm hot swapping my team out, the only things I'm really changing are the mons and the moves. So we get into Nessa's gym with a Swablu, Machoke, Galarian Zigzagoon, Cursula, Vulpix, and Nickit. Our level cap is going to be 24, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. Nickit tries evolving here, but not in my house you don't. I take care of Team Yell here, and then this is where I had to take out the Nuzlocke rules. I was absolutely not ready for this hop battle, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it, right? I led with Machoke, thinking, you know, this will be easy, no stress. Wooloo goes down easily and everything's okay. But then, his Corvisquire just goes on a killing spree, wiping out 4 of my mons, which, watching the footage back, was completely avoidable, but anyways, that's besides the point. I finish up with Hop using the OP Cursula Perish Song strat and crack on to Nessa. Since I was playing with Nuzlocke rules, I went in with just Zigzagoon and Cursula and got the floor wiped with me, so I cancelled the lock and went back to grab the whole team. I led with Zigzagoon and dropped Goldine's stats a bit so I could try and set up with Machoke. Got off a Focus Energy to boost my crit rate and actually end up getting confused by Water Pulse. That doesn't really matter as I'm able to take down the Goldeen and the Arrokuda even with the confusion. And then from there, I just really wanted to take advantage of the fact that Cursula got Perish Song, so I trolled Nessa for the Perish Song win, netting us our 2nd badge. Victory has never tasted so sweet. I don't know why, but this cheese win was actually really fun and I enjoyed it a lot. Alright. Next up is Kabu. I apologize for the angling of that pack opening, by the way. I'm not sure what I was on, but it definitely came out weird. Also, Weedle definitely isn't in the game. It was also at this point that I decided to just pivot mid-video and use whatever the packs give me because I could get Heat or Trubbish. Haha. Speaking of that, our team for Kabu is going to consist of Inkay, Hatenna, Trubbish, Lycanroc, Obstagoon, and Absol, with a level cap of 27. Bede tries to come back for his revenge here. His Solos is still Nose Endeavor, but he's ultimately no match for my hypnosising Inkay. Then we move onto the first Marnie fight, where Inkay shows its true colors and is now actually one of my favorite baby mons. As far as Kabu goes, he's always annoying because he just likes to burn literally everything, but luckily my Obstagoon comes with guts, so I'm not even worried about it. We sweep through his first 2 mons this way, and then clean up his big Centipede with Lycanroc for a pretty easy 3rd batch. But I think this is where the difficulty might finally ramp up. Anyways, let's tear into pack 4. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm excited to use Victini. I'll say it. Along with that, we've got Linoon, Inkay, Hatenna, Trubbish, and Scrafty, with a nice level cap of 36. So we venture through the wild area, dodging everything possible since that's still banned, and make it to ye old town of Hammerlock. This is also when I remembered why I hate making Sword and Shield videos, and it's because the game takes forever to get through. It's like a minimum 9-hour recording time. So out of 10 hours of this footage, you will probably only see like 20 minutes. My hard drives hate me. Eventually, we get to Stow on side and battle Hop. I'm gonna be honest, I was watching 22 Jump Street with my friends on Discord.
My name is Jeff.
So I was really just clicking buttons through this, but we won and that's all that counts. On to Allister. I lead off with my Linoon and fire off a Night Slash, expecting it to Oko, but it didn't. I got disabled and was literally forced to switch. You can tell I wasn't paying attention by the amount of times I clicked Night Slash here. So I big brain it and switch into Scrafty to get him with some beat ups, do the same to Mimikyu to bust through the disguise and actually get off some decent damage. I then switch into Inkay for some reason, and that kills with 1 HP left, and I'm so proud of it. Inkay almost takes out Cursula, dies, and Linoon gets the revenge kill and then takes down the big Gengar, netting us our 4th badge. I didn't even need to bust out my Victini, but I figured I'd take the scenic route to victory instead of just blasting through with it. Sharpedo, Centiskorch, Swablu, and Galarian Zigzagoon. Not an impressive squad by any means, but let's run it. Also, level cap here is 38. Right out of the gates, we fight Bede, but luckily I have a bug type and just kind of wipe the floor with him. In Melony, I find out you can turn this TV on and off, and that's super sick, but The main point here is the Eviolite, which is going to be super useful for a lot of mons. My first go round with Opal didn't have me faring too well, so we ran back this time with some thought. I led with Scorch to do a bit of setting up with Coil, since her battle gives you stat boosts anyway. I just needed enough. So yeah, I pretty much just set up with Scorch, getting up 3 coils, answering all the questions right, and it's pretty much a clean sweep from there. Opal was the first gym leader I lost to, and it was a feels bad man, but all I needed was to put some thought in there for everything to work out. So this is the first time I felt genuine fear come over me. We were going to be facing off against Melony with a team of Inkay, Sizzlipede, Nickit, Hatchrim, and Swablu with a level cap of 42. The difficulty was definitely going to be ramping up, as proven by this next battle with Hop, where I get absolutely obliterated. At this point, I was still playing without items, and Hop was proving to be a tough nut to crack. In the winning run, I did finally play around it by leading with a Nickit, who was holding a citrus berry. Since it had the ability Unburden and I knew I could live a hit, I used Nasty Plots. Now with the speed boost, I figured a +2 Snarl would be enough to take down Trevenant, but boy was I wrong. The thought was there, at least, I guess. But then I switched into Inkay and was able to take it down with a Night Slash. I landed my Hypnosis on this Heatmore, thankfully, and proceeded to spam Night Slash hoping for a crit or two. But I didn't get one, and luckily I 3-hit KO it while it was still asleep. Then out comes Snorlax, the biggest threat. I put it to sleep and then tried the same strat again, just trying to spam crit moves, but it woke up turn 1, started sitting on Inkay until finally on the next turn I managed to put it back to sleep. But it gets another first turn wake up and down goes Inkay. A very tragic end, but I go into Scorch, who is holding the Bright Powder, and proceed to spam Smokescreen so Snorlax just can't hit me. Then I get a Flame Wheel burn, so even if it does manage to hit me, I'm good. And I proceed to spam Bite to try and get some flinches off while the burn just whittled it away. I don't think I end up getting any flinches, but I spam Bite and that's all that matters, and it eventually goes down, and we escape without ever taking damage. Out comes Boltund, and the strategy is the same. I spam Smokescreens before getting roared out, get some damage off with Swablu before I'm roared into Hatchrim, and then kill it off with 2 Dazzling Gleams. All that's left to do is beat his Rillaboom now. So I sack off Hatchrim at this point and go back into Scorch. But tragedy strikes when my Bright Powder is knocked off, leaving me with just a Swablu, and I'm forced to break out items here because I really don't want to repeat this battle again. This was like my 5th time, and I was over it. I know, I'm sorry, I'm a letdown, but I couldn't afford another wipe here. Anyways, long story short, Inkay comes in and cleans up. Then, moving on to Melony, I figured since I already broke the no items rule for this gym, I may as well just continue that theme from here. I bring Calm Mind Hatchrim, and that's my strategy for this gym. I didn't think there was any way I was getting past her Lapras, especially not with Aurora Veil up, which, if you don't know, is what Gmax Lapras does, and it's basically a Light Screen Reflect bundled in one. So I set up my Calm Minds to like +4 or so while mixing in the occasional healing item, and even with all that set up in place, it actually takes me a couple turns heal stalling Lapras out of its Gmax before I'm even able to beat her, so that just goes to show, I don't think I could have done this without items at all. Alright, so Victini, Machoke, Carvana, Nickit, Roly-Poly, and Swablu. An interesting mixture, but that's no problem for us. We're level capped at 46, but also don't have to worry about any Gmaxes in this next gym. I actually lose the first battle against Hop and realize that Roly-Poly doesn't have any moves on it, which for some reason I thought was really funny and decided to just keep it like that. After that humiliating defeat, we go back for some revenge, take him down, get the water bike, take down Marnie, and move on to Piers. This admittedly did take me a few tries. My strategy really just ended up being abusing Victini for its power and using Machoke to tie up loose ends. The only major problem actually ended up being Malamar because that thing just hurts, but Nickit managed to take it down with foul play. From there, it was pretty much back to the original strategy of Machoke and Victini doing their best for an easy 7th gym badge. Raihan's pack was a bit, lackluster, but I think we'll manage. We are so blessed to have received Roly-Poly, Vulpix, Rockruff, Liepard, and Machoke. With the level cap of 48 and not much ground to cover, I reckon this will be an interesting one. Now, one thing to note is that this battle always gave me issues, because I'd always trigger the Shell Trap and get one shot, But this time around, since Vulpix had disable, I was actually able to disable it, which I thought was pretty pog. The other trainers were no match for my God Squad, and we blew through them with ease. For Raihan, I decided to lead with Machoke and Liepard to pull off this sick combo on Flygon, who would have, without a doubt, used Breaking Swipe, lowering my attack, which is not pog at all, and so I faked it out, dual chopped it, and then killed it off the next turn with a Sucker Punch. Liepard got flattened like a pancake here, and from there it was just kind of juggling damage off of Machoke so it could sweep the rest of Raihan's team. And unfortunately, this is where our journey ends. I really just wasn't having fun making this video, but I had already put so much time into it, I figured I might as well just finish it. I really hate leaving a loose end like this, but I still think the video is some pretty solid content nonetheless, and you know, I don't know, I want to get it out of the way. So this idea is done. I can get it off my plate and I can start working on my next video idea. So I really hope you guys did enjoy. I started streaming a lot on YouTube, so if you didn't know that, now you do. I don't really have a schedule, but it's kind of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday-ish. So that's all for that. I'll throw some clips from the stream at the end here so you guys can kind of see what it's about, see everything. But yeah, my goal is to not lose. If you ignore your problems. I did not mean to actually walk into her, so this could be really bad. All right, I'm gonna go into Claire here. Holy moly! I don't have anything to heal burns. This is scary. Water spout, wait. Oh, I crit! Ah! All right, chat. This might be the run. This might be the end of the run. We have one shot, one chance, redemption. He did it! Oh. I got crit, guys. I got crit. I swear I wasn't trying to fight him. I swear. I was trying to freeze him by opening the pause menu, and it just didn't work like that. Alright? Chat, don't yell at me. Lombre. Love Disc. Cubone. Lombre. Is that a restart? I want it to be. Okay. Overwhelming amounts of Lombre. Good typing. We may be able to do this. We're just gonna... And now, with all hope lost, P is our final team member. Get off, Mewtwo! Oh my god! Boys and girls, who are we picking? Are we picking Absol, the disaster Pokemon, Metapod, the cocoon Pokemon, or Zapdos, the electric Pokemon? Chad, the decision is yours. Take your time. Think about it. Chad, no. Huh. Chad? The votes are too split. Chat. I've seen so many Metapods. Chat. You guys are making me fix out. Fun. Ah!